The EU ambassador to Albania, Vlahutin, has quashed any allegations of plans to set up a refugee camp in Albania, firmly stating that this is not true and that the Bulgarian Prime Minister's statement has been misinterpreted. The DP reacted fiercely to the decision of the Municipal Council of Has declaring the former MP, Mazreku, an honorary citizen, given that years ago he injured Azem Haidari at the Assembly podium. Young people called for more measures in preventing violence by strengthening institutions and policies for their support, as, according to the statistics reported by the Youth Network, 4,000 denunciations of violence have been made to the police. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Monday the 18th of June 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country, translated into English. The European Union ambassador to Albania, Vlahutin, has extinguished any allegations of a refugee camp being set up in Albania. From Berat, she spoke firmly when declaring the statements as untrue, adding that the Bulgarian Prime Minister's statement was misinterpreted. Such allegations are entirely a misinterpretation of what the Bulgarian Prime Minister has said during that press conference. I was there at the meeting and I can assure you that it is absolutely not the case. What has been spoken for a long time is the idea for the existence of a study centre where colleagues can discuss, see the phenomenon and figure out what is happening. There is absolutely no idea about having such a camp as has been alleged as of late. There are two reasons why this kind of centre is being built here is being discussed. First of all, it is a good location because the Albanian state is doing a very good job when it comes to the work against violent extremism and its prevention. On the other hand, Albania has a good model of religious harmony, making a very good place to have a regional centre, and I repeat that this is absolutely not about returnees, confirmed Vlahutin. Regarding the opening of negotiations, Vlahutin said Albania has done good work, but it still depends on the decisions made by each member state on the day of the meeting to be held at the end of June. We will see on June 28 what the EU countries decide. I know that Albania has worked hard, but the decision ultimately depends on the positions taken by each of the 28 member states. The Commission did what it should do and said what it should say in giving the unconditional recommendation. Therefore, what is important is to continue working. Then we will see what will be said by the EU countries. I do not want to prejudge such an important decision ahead of the time, said Vlahutin. Residents of the Kukas district warned that they will oppose the return of the toll for travelling on the national highway, which is expected to be applied from September, albeit at a reduced amount of 100 lek for residents. They say that they will continue to protest even if the toll is reduced to just 1 lek, as they talk about their economic impossibility to pay any tariff. Neither the amount of the tariff nor its confirmed relaunch date have been formalised by the government, but Aura News sources confirmed it has been agreed upon with reduced tolls for residents of Kukas and for the 11 public transport service lines. Still, in individual standings, Kukas residents say that they will return to protests in case of any tariff being imposed on them for travel on the national highway. Economic situations resulting in an inability to pay is the first reason given by the Kuksians opposing the payment. Given the circumstances, the residents of Kukas hold the position that for them, the specialised toll should be zero. But while formalising the new tariff and the enabling packages for residents of the Kukas region, which is expected to be in September, the citizens of Kukas will find themselves aligned with the opposition, who are also positioned against the tariff. A few days ago from Kukas, 2 Democratic Party MPs warned that all forms of democratic disobedience would be used to stop such a toll. Meanwhile, the toll booths along the national highway continue to be rehabilitated following the damages caused during the protests of 31 March. Architects and urban planners have expressed concerns about the renovation of the National Theatre, raising the alarm that the current building is absolutely hazardous. In a public hearing with the Mayor of Tirana, they unveiled their arguments as to why this object should no longer exist. Agron Husanliu from the Institute of Construction said that in this cultural institution there is nothing left to recover from the infrastructure. In the architectural analysis that was carried out by a group of 13 engineers from the Construction Institute, it was determined that the structure does not meet the minimum conditions for carrying out a cultural activity of this nature, explained Agron Husanliu. Director of the Fire Service, Altin Gorjai, said that they had requested a ban on the operation of the National Theatre due to the immense fire risk posed by the state of the building. From our reports dated 2001 and 2002 on this institution, the control measures were requested by the General Directorate of Firefighting Service in the Ministry of Interior. The blockade on this activity of this institution remains. This year, it becomes a requirement that this institution be stopped from continuing any activities, emphasised Altin Gorjai. Regarding the debate over the values of the theatre building, the Minister of Culture's advisor and the representatives of the cultural monuments said that it was not even included in the list of second category monuments. In 2004, the Scientific Council Commission concluded that this object does not carry historical or cultural value, stated the Minister of Culture's advisor. Meanwhile, Mayor Arion Valii suggested that the concerns raised be addressed with the actors at a special hearing. I invite both sides, that is the actors and directors, along with the engineers and technical experts, to allow both sides to hear each other. In this way, I am sure we will be able to determine the best course of action to satisfy both parties, said Arion Valii. On the other hand, the actors have expressed their determination against the demolition of the current building, saying they will continue to protest against the destruction of the National Theatre. Following the announcement of Ghafur Mazreku as an honorary citizen of Has, the Democratic Party have declared the move an unprecedented and criminal act, which reconfirms the crime policy of the Socialist Party. Gens Razimiri had his finger firmly pointed at the Prime Minister when he made these claims, on the ground that Mazreku was involved in an attempted murder of the leader of the December movement, Azem Haidari. Regarding this issue, Prime Minister Edi Rama reacted fiercely towards the Socialist Party's parliamentary group meeting, declaring much of their work as shameful. Sources told Aura News that Rama was highly critical of his MPs, stressing that their councillors should not have proposed Ghafur Mazreku for honorary citizenship. Despite the firm position taken by the Prime Minister on this issue, the Democratic Party retorts that he is simply trying to wash his hands of this public relations disaster. When it comes to weather throughout the months of June, meteorologists are warning to expect the unexpected due to highly unstable weather patterns. The first part of the days will be sunny, with temperatures ranging up to 30 degrees Celsius, while in the afternoons there will be localised rain. Meteorologist Methodi Marku asked citizens and holidaymakers to take care, especially during thunderstorms, which are expected to have high numbers of lightning bolts presenting extreme electrical discharge. Weather instability has an impact on health, especially those who have poorer immunity, such as children. At the Paediatric Department of the University Medical Centre of Tirana, doctors told us that in 24 hours, 180 to 200 young patients sought medical help. The Youth in the Parliamentary Health Commission reported that 4,000 cases of gender-based violence were registered with the State Police, and 2,500 women have requested protection orders. The most basic phenomena of violence and discrimination are problematic where security and referral systems are not guaranteed by institutions. Other issues raised by the Youth Network relate to student cards, youth cards, education, market research and supportive policies. In their political argument, the youth of the Socialist Movement for Integration considered the situation as particularly worrying at the time when young people are leaving the country, and according to them, with 0.01% of the budget dedicated to the youth, support simply cannot even be discussed. 11 youth organisations came together to react to the parliamentary commissions for the implementation of a national action plan to guarantee more rights and support for young people who make up 35% of the country's population. During the month of June, Border Police have blocked and punished by administrative measures a total of 17 vessels, made up of 1 speedboat and 16 jet skis, as verification checks determined they were not in possession of the required documentation. The Border Police action was inspected by the Deputy General Director of the State Police, Aida Hainai. The purpose was the implementation of the measures for the creation of safe areas where holidaymakers can enjoy their vacation without the presence of water vehicles. In addition, the measures seek to equip jet ski owners with certificates, erect lifeguard observation towers, flags and orientation tables, as well as to make a visible boundary that divides the swim area from that of navigating vessels. The final point is to ensure information is available to vacationers about the areas where swimming can be performed without the presence of danger. Border Police Services, Delta Force, Rapid Intervention Forces, Road Police, Shiponyat and General Patrols have launched their services across the coastline for preventing fatal events, as well as generally assisting tourists when needed. Police services alternate between land and sea, where Delta Forces and Border Police sailing vessels continue to verify all forms of water vehicles and their required documentation to be declared seaworthy, declares the notification. Meanwhile, on the ground along the coastline, police officers patrolling by bicycle can already be seen in areas where vacationers have started to holiday. The Road Police, supported by Shiponyat and General Patrols, as well as the Rapid Intervention Forces and the Delta Force, have been extended across all axes, providing an uninterrupted service to ensure traffic congestion remains minimal. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.